Today I want to talk to you guys about some strategic planning that I'm doing right now and careful planting on where things are going to go as I approach the fall. The placement of crops is very important, but the times they come out is even more important. And the one example I want to show you is my greenhouse here. So tomatoes have been cleared out of this greenhouse and most of the beds are prepped. I got 2 more to prep here. So, you know, tomatoes finished up early here. Actually, the students in the 5-day course planted these crops last Wednesday. They're already up and very emerged, so you can see how fast things grow in the summer. So the plan for this greenhouse going into winter is I want to get 2 more crops in here before my main crop, my main winter crop in here, which is going to be lettuce. And I'm not going to heat the greenhouse in the same way as I did last year. I might for a certain period of time. I'm expecting to only get 1 cut, and then I'll finish it up. So what I'm doing right now is I'm only planting really quick growing crops that I can have out of here before, let's say, October. So I'm not putting Salanova in here because Salanova is going to give me too many cuts and it's going to go too far into the winter. So what I want is spinach, arugula, radishes. I might put a bed of turnips in here too. All these kinds of crops are going to be out of here in 30 days. They'll be done. Then I can clean it out and get it prepped and properly stale seed bedded to put in my Salanova crop that's going to go into the winter. And so the stale seed bedding portion is very important to me because I'm not doing it with landscape fabric. I'm doing it with the paper pot transplanter, like I am with everything now, with my lettuce at least. And so these crops that are in here now, in a way, will be somewhat sacrificial in the sense that they're part of the stale seed bedding process. I've got a little bit of weed pressure coming up in those beds. You know, I got some weed pressure coming up, and it's actually not weed pressure, it's tomatoes. little tomatoes that are germinating still. But the beauty is these radishes will be out of the ground, and then I'll pull those weeds out, tomatoes out, and then flame weed it again. Arugula, more or less the same thing. 1 or 2 cuts, done, turned over. Spinach, same thing, and then more radishes and turnips in here. So then I can give myself a couple weeks to properly prep these beds and get ready for that lettuce, where I want to have minimal weed pressure at that time because that crop's going to sit in the ground for a longer time because the days are getting shorter and the nights are getting colder, and you know, I don't want to have a weedy crop in the greenhouse. So basically the plan will be to have everything out of here by around the first week of October, and then at that point I'll be transplanting lettuce into here, which I'm hoping will get me to Christmas, and then that'll be done for lettuce in this greenhouse. However, I will be putting up caterpillar tunnels again, and I also have to be very careful about what I plan and where I place those crops, because I need to have beds in between caterpillar tunnels. And one thing I'm doing, I'm going to put a caterpillar tunnel here again, but I won't be doing it with the 5 beds like I did in the spring, and that's primarily because I'm going to be going into the fall and winter and I'm preparing for snow. And when you stretch a caterpillar tunnel out to 5 beds, you can really risk snow collapse. So when you put it at 4 beds, it's a lot straighter on the sides and has a higher top, so it'll be much better for shedding snow. The other thing I've been doing today is looking on my spreadsheets and looking at what I have to plant, and then looking at what beds I'm going to have available and then where they're going to go. So it's sort of a mix and match game where I'm finding beds that are either empty and prepped or just harvested and will be prepped, and then pairing that up with my weekly planting. So right now I'm still on my weekly planting schedule in the sense that I'm doing lots of arugula. I'm planting 200 bed feet of arugula per week. Now I'm planting 100 bed feet of spinach per week. I'm planting 100 bed feet of radishes, 50 feet of turnips. I think that's it. So basically, I'm just trying to find beds that I can plant and looking at what was in that crop previous, and, you know, trying to have somewhat of a crop succession, and then figuring out where to put those crops. So I have tons of beds available right now. I've got some 25 footers here. I'm going to crop out that basil and turn that bed over. and I've got beds at other plots that I'm doing the same at, but it's very important on where I stage things. And I'm done planting carrots for the season, so all of our fall carrots are now on the ground, so that definitely makes it easy. But I also want to make sure that I have more places to plant Salanova in the next couple weeks. I've got a number of flats that have been started that I'm going to get transplanted, so I need to make sure that I'm going to have crops coming out of the ground when those are going into the ground. And just looking here at this plot, what will probably happen is this bed of arugula and this bed of basil will probably be the ones that come out in a few weeks to put that Salanova in the ground. So there's 2 beds there I can pretty much count on, and then I'm looking at other plots and thinking the same thing. My general strategy in the winter, or going into winter farming, because I'm multi-locational, is I want to have all of my consistent winter crops really close to home. So like the things like greens that we're doing on a constant basis, I want those within all the plots that are really close to our center location here. So I try to get as much stuff as I can here. There won't be anything in the front yard this year because that's going to be turned into a personal garden. And our plot that's 2 blocks over this way, or 1 block actually, we're going to pack out as much product in there as we can. We'll put 2 more caterpillar tunnels there, just like we had in the spring. And our plot that's just across the highway here, it is a high rotation plot, but we're trying to not do as much winter production there as last year because we don't want to have to keep going there in the winter. However, we've put most of our overwintered carrots there, and so those will be under caterpillar tunnels, but I'll only need to go there once a month to harvest carrots. I can go and pull, you know, a few hundred pounds out of the ground, leave those in the cooler, and then just sell those as we need them. That's what's kind of cool about carrots. Another thing that just happened today is I did a rush order on a bunch of seeds, so I'm running low on seed, and it's usually in the fall or late summer I do another big top-up. So today I ordered another 2 pounds of arugula seed. The arugula Voyager is what I plant, and I ordered another 2 pounds of space spinach, which is my primary spinach for the summer, or for the spring, fall, and winter. And I ordered a bit more radish that I needed. And I just wanted to show you guys something that I just did recently. I got this idea from my friend Jeremy Mueller. If you guys don't know who he is, you should follow him on Instagram. His farm's called Excelsior Farm. I'll put a link to his Instagram below. He's a really innovative grower it's him and his wife, and they have a little bit of help in the summer, but they do a lot of production. Does 1,000 pounds a week of greens. Pretty much a one-man show as far as field production, and then he has people helping in the post-harvest. But anyways, I saw him do this in his Instagram. I thought it was a great idea, and so he's using one of these little, I don't know what these containers are called, but these plastic containers. And it's really cool because it's got this little space. You can put your rollers for the Jang cedar right there. And I've started to put all my consistent seed that I use each week in little jars. So I went out to just a little craft store and bought a bunch of these plastic jars. I wanted plastic just in case it drops, it won't break, like glass if I used mason jars. And so this is our weekly seeds, and it's really simple, and it's only the stuff that we need in here. I have had I do have another seed box that I've used. So this is the other seed box that I was using this season, and it had all these bags of seed. And I find when you keep your seed that you're using consistently in bags, it's a hassle because they get bent up and they spill seed, and it's a pain. So what I've done is I've put all like my main seed into just big jars. So there's some more spinach or radish, there's spinach in here, there's carrots, all this kind of stuff. And then I just fill up these because, you know, there's enough seed in here to last a few weeks. And so this way it's minimal and concise, and I don't have to search around for things. I only have what I need on a weekly basis in here, and I like that. It's a lot more organized and a lot more clean. So thanks, Jeremy, for that wicked tip. So that is today's vlog, just getting ready to keep planting and really thinking critically about where things are going to go and when they're going to be out of the ground going into fall. Because for my overwintered crops, like my spinach, and well, spinach is my only overwintered crop in the ground, but carrots were also important. I really need to think about where those are gonna go. I want those to go in greenhouses, or I want them to go in specific places that are close to my home and whatnot. So everything that I'm planting right now, I need to really think about when it's gonna be out of the ground, so that when I arrive at that last planting date, I've got beds in the right locations that I can plant. And so that's the main thing I wanted to share with you guys today. Have a fantastic day.